Hello everyone to the events of Oliver Twist novel. Written by Charles Dickens. Summarized and prepared by Mrs. Walaa Samir. Audio recorded by AI technology. Chapter 20. Fagin's Final Hours. At the court, Fagin was found guilty by the jury. The judge asked him why he shouldn't be sentenced to death. All Fagin could say was that he was an old man. In his prison cell, he kept thinking about the judge's words about being hanged to death. On the day he was to be hanged, Fagin received a visit from Mr. Brownlow and Oliver. Mr. Brownlow asked him about the place of some papers that monks had given to him for safekeeping. Fagin denied knowing about them in the beginning. Then, he whispered their place to Oliver as they were in a bag, in a hole up the chimney in the front room. The questions in this chapter are: 1. How would Fagin meet his end? 2. Where did Fagin hide the papers that monks had given him? 3. You have some papers, which were given to you for safekeeping. These words were said by Mr. Brownlow to Fagin after being arrested and was about to be sentenced to death. The papers were important documents that monks, Oliver's half-brother, had given to Fagin to keep in a safe place as they prove the will and identity of Oliver. In the beginning, Fagin denied having the papers. By the end, he whispered to Oliver about their secret place in a bag, in a hole up the chimney in the front room. Chapter 21. The End. Mr. Brownlow suggested sharing Oliver's father's property with monks. Oliver agreed. Monks took his share and left for America. He quickly spent everything and returned to his criminal life. He was imprisoned where he died. Mr. and Mrs. Bumble are no longer in charge of the workhouse. They became poorer and finished their days among the poor in the same workhouse. Charlie Bates decided that an honest life would be better for him and became a happy shepherd. Mr. Brownlow adopted Oliver as his son and moved with him and Mrs. Bedwin close to Rose and Mrs. Maylai. By the altar of the old village church, there stands a white marble stone, with Agnes' name on it, in memory of Oliver Twist's mother. The questions in this chapter are: 1. How did Mr. Brownlow divide Oliver's father's wealth? 2. How had monks end his life? 3. How did Mr. and Mrs. Bumble meet their end? 4. Charlie Bates had a new beginning in his life. How? 5. What did Mr. Brownlow do to Oliver by the end? 6. Do you like Mr. Brownlow's character? Why? Why not? In answering this question, it's your own point of view. Either you like him or not. Remember to mention what he did through the events of the whole novel. You can talk about the things he did and you didn't like. Also, think about all the novel characters. Do you like them or not, and why? Here are their names: Oliver Twist, Mrs. Mann, Mr. Bumble, Mrs. Bumble. Noah Claypole, Charlotte. Fagin. Jack Dawkins. Charlie Bates. Bill Sykes. Nancy. Mr. Grimwig. Toby Crockett. Mrs. Corney. Mrs. Thingummy. Mrs. Maylai. Rose. Mr. Giles. Mr. Brittles. Dr. Losburn. Monks. If you felt like this content is beneficial to you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next novels. Bye.